So boom, moving to a different state can definitely be difficult. Trust me, I know. I moved to Dallas 3 years ago, and there's so many things that I wish I knew before I moved to Dallas. And some of them I was actually very disappointed spending more time here in Dallas, Texas. So if you want to know what you need to know, or you wouldn't want to know what you don't know about moving to Dallas, Texas, definitely got to stick around, stay tuned. You don't want to miss it, because I'm getting to it right now. What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Dre with the Making Moves group here in Dallas, Texas. And if this is your first time watching the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living, working, playing, eating, and chilling in Dallas, definitely gotta hit that red subscribe button and the bell icon next to it to be the first to know when we upload a new video. And people contact me and my business partner Brandy each and every day trying to get more information about living here. So if you're interested in moving or relocating, definitely got to give us a call, shoot us a text, or simply send us an email. We got your back when moving to Dallas, Texas. I'm not going to hold y'all up too long, so we're going to get straight to it. So there's 5 things that I wish I knew before moving to Dallas, Texas. And I'm just going to get straight to it. So the first thing is Dallas is a big city. Like, when I moved to Dallas, I underestimated it so much. I was like, oh, Dallas isn't the best city in Texas, which, you know, there may be some debates about that. But you got Houston, you got Austin, you got San Antonio, and then you got Dallas. I lived in Houston about 2 years prior to moving to Dallas, and you know, I always thought Houston was the creme de la creme. I always thought Dallas is just so small and baby, and it is compared to Houston, but Dallas is still a big city, and it's definitely heavily underrated. At least I thought it was heavily underrated. So Dallas is so freaking big. So it's not just Dallas. You got Fort Worth, and you got all the surrounding cities or suburbs that comprise the DFW metroplex. Dallas has 2 airports. So if that doesn't tell you how big it is, you must be tripping. Really. And I was like, oh, okay, Houston has 2 airports, but Dallas has 2 airports as well. So that tells you it's a big city, okay? Dallas is a big city, and then you got Fort Worth, and you got all these little baby suburbs around it. And the thing about it is, it takes forever to get to all these baby suburbs. So if you don't move to the right place, then you may be driving 35 to 45 minutes to an hour to your location. And that's not good. Who wants to be spending all that money on gas, especially when gas prices is going up? I know I don't. I want to live somewhere that's 20 to 30 minutes, at least 20 or less. 20, 30 minutes is not too bad for me. But who wants to be driving 40 minutes just for convenience? Dallas has so many awesome and amazing suburbs that may fit your need. So if you're trying to figure out where to live, that's the name of the channel. Give us a call, shoot us a text. We'll be happy to help you out. This channel is all about where to live in Dallas, Texas. So we have tons of videos that's going to point you in the right direction. But if you're still lost, check out niche.com for the best suburbs, or give us a call. We're definitely licensed realtors, so we can help you get you into a home as soon as possible, especially since the market is changing. Okay, but I'm not going to hold you up too long on that one. I'm going to talk about the second thing, which is different personalities. So I told y'all they got Dallas, and they got Fort Worth, and then they got all these little baby suburbs. So depending on the vibe you want, Dallas is so unique. So Dallas is more so the urban feel, has all the flashy high-rise buildings, has all the fun clubs, has all the stuff that you can do, right? That's what people know Dallas for. I really love the skyline because the colors light up depending on what sports events going on, or depending on just what's going on in the city. For an example, when the Ukraine was having their issues, they're still having their issues, I believe. I don't watch the news too much, but they're still having their issues, I think. Please drop a comment if I'm right or not. But they lit the city up in blue and yellow to represent Ukraine. So I thought that was kind of unique. And they kind of do that for the Cowboys games, the Texans games, not the Rangers. I meant the Rangers, the Dallas Stars. So they kind of changed the lighting on the buildings to resemble that. They have the Omni Dallas, which is right in the center of Dallas, downtown Dallas, which has windows that has lights on it, so they can literally change it to anything that they want. Okay, so that's one personality. And then you got Fort Worth, Texas. It gives you much more of a relaxed, calm, spread out feel. I feel that you get a little bit more bang for your buck, but they don't have as many jobs as Dallas does, because Dallas is the big creme de la creme, where all the houses, cost a lot. Apartments, skyride apartments cost a crap ton of money that I personally don't wish to pay. If I ever had that much money, I may live there. Just putting it out there. But Fort Worth is not as glamorous. I mean, it does have a decently sized downtown area. It does have a decently sized downtown area, but it's more so known for its relaxed, calm vibe. Houses are more spread out. You don't. Dallas, to me, Dallas is just overpriced for no reason, just because it's demand. But in Texas, I feel like you get and Fort Worth, I feel like you get the most bang for your buck there, honestly. But there's other suburbs that you can definitely look into, just depending on where your job is. So Fort Worth is known for the Cowtown feel. So the nickname is Cowtown. They have this little trolley called Molly the Trolley, which is resembles like a bull, I think, right? A cow or bull, whatever you want to call it. But it takes you around the city, so it kind of contributes to that Cowtown feel. Also, Fort Worth has the Fort Worth Stockyards. So it's really a westernized feel there. They have like makeshift saloons, brick roads. They have cattle drive twice a day there. So it kind of gives you that Cowtown feel, and that's kind of like where you get your. There's other places in the metroplex, but they have leather stores. You can buy hats there, and a lot of the downtown hotels resemble the Cowtown feel. Also, when you're walking downtown, you may see somebody wear cowboy boots, the cowboy buckle, and the cowboy hats. That's a normal thing in Fort Worth, Texas. So before, when people talk about Fort Worth, it's all about the yeehaw, 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 or anything about Texas. That's what they think about. And living in Fort Worth, you truly get that vibe. In Dallas, not saying you don't get that vibe. You may see someone here or there. But when you think about that yeehaw, authentic Western feel, that's when I think about Fort Worth, Texas. Now, they do have other larger suburbs as well. Plano, Texas, Frisco, Texas, and they're building up all around the metroplex. So depending on where you want to live, they have Arlington. There's a vibe literally for everyone, I feel. If you want something boring, they have it. Something secluded, country, they have it. If you want something fun, that's exciting, that's near all the action, they have it. But you got to reach out to us so we can point you in that right direction. Now, the third thing, which is very important, which may make or break your move, moving to Dallas, Texas, which is the freaking property taxes. Yeah, everybody says you don't have to pay state income taxes in Texas. Whoop-de-darn do. But I've seen this happen to multiple people, and this honestly upsets me, because you think the houses are so cheap. Before pandemic it was, but now it's a little bit more expensive. And it's not as expensive as California or New York, but it's still expensive. So if you're moving from California, you're like, I'm getting a good freaking deal. Okay, but when you look at those property taxes, man, it is outrageous. So before you consider buying a house here, look at property taxes. And yeah, you may be saving that money not paying state income taxes, but those property taxes, they darn sure do add up. And I'm not talking country on purpose, okay? But those property taxes do add up. And sometimes you can be spending an extra $500 to $1,000 a month on your mortgage just in property taxes. It depends on the area, the school district, and all that stuff. But just one of the things that I wish I would have known, because if you're buying a house and oh, it looks so good, and you get that big fat bill the next year with the property taxes, and like, oh my gosh, what did I get myself into? Am I going to be able to even afford this house with these property taxes? So definitely one thing that you want to plan for when looking for a house. But there's licensed real estate professionals and mortgage professionals that can help you. Like I said, we are one of those, so definitely reach out to us. We can help point you in the right direction so that you're not making the same mistakes as so many other people make when they move to the area. The fourth thing that I wish I would have known is about before moving to Dallas, Texas, is hailstorms and tornadoes. These things are real in the DFW metroplex. Okay, do not get it twisted, do not get it confused. This is a real thing, and sometimes it may cost you thousands of dollars, but they don't happen that often, maybe 3 or 4 times a year. And I've lived in Dallas for 3 years. There hasn't been massive tornadoes that had pretty big effect on a lot of the areas. I'm not trying to say that it won't happen. I'm not God now. But just from my experience, they're few, far, and in between. But hailstorms, they do happen pretty often, but that's why we have insurance. So make sure you get insurance on your car, your house, because you don't want to be paying a big bill to be replacing windows. But it just depends on like what area. I had a few friends last year that were affected by it. It wasn't dramatic, but thank God they had insurance. So just make sure you get insurance, especially on your roof, your windows, your cars. Definitely important to do before moving here. So the fifth thing that I would like you to know before moving to Dallas, or that I actually wish I would have known, is the highways and the drivers and the toll roads. All of it is so freaking confusing, especially if you're just moving here. When I moved here, coming to downtown Dallas, there's so many exits to get off on. You're making the wrong turn after wrong turn. You're ending up in a different city, accidentally ending up on a toll road. Excuse me, guys. Paying $40 a day, $40 just because you accidentally ended up on a toll road. It happens, so be careful. But this is not everywhere, right? It depends on what app you're using. I like to personally use Waze. I think Google Maps and Apple Maps are trash. They just give you too much information. But that's neither here or there. But it just depends on what app you're using. Waze gets me in the right direction. You can click avoid tolls, so it helps you avoid tolls. Not saying it's dummy proof. Sometimes we make mistakes and accidentally get on the toll road. And the toll roads are actually useful, but they are highly, highly, highly expensive. And if you don't accrue this into your monthly budget, you could be in big trouble. And I don't want that to happen to anyone. Trust me, been there, done that. And I only use it unless I'm absolutely late or unless the traffic is just being bad, and I'd rather pay the money, to get my time back. But my experience driving in Dallas is very confusing. The highways, it takes you a minute to get on it, but to understand them. But once you understand them, you're in the game. You know exactly where to go, how to get there, and you know shortcuts. Sometimes you don't even have to look at the Google Maps or the Waze. You don't have to look at the GPS because you know where you're going. So it's all about getting familiar with the area, knowing which highways. I can honestly tell you, I-20 and I-30, they take you east and west, and then 35 takes you north and south, and then 820 just kind of takes you all around. So those are kind of the main ones. And then Dallas, you got 635. Haven't been much in Plano, Frisco, but they got the North Dallas Tollway, and it's so big. When they say everything's bigger and better in Texas, they have so many highways just on top of each other. So it looks so intimidating at first, especially if you're coming from a small town. I lived in Phoenix in Virginia, and they don't have half as many highways. So it is very intimidating, but it's really cool to have that big city feel as well. Another thing I want to say, speed limit. So the speed limit is about 65 to 75 miles per hour. People do drive crazy. In my experience, there's not a lot of cops on the road, but they do happen. I recently got a ticket 6 months ago. Very upset. They caught me slipping. I thought I was, just out here living freely. I was like, nobody ever gets pulled over in Texas. I was going 20 miles over the speed limit. He caught me, paid the bill, whatever. We, been there, done that. But be careful. People do drive fast here. I get road rage being here. If you're going less than 75, no need to be on the highway, honestly. Sorry. They have 3 lanes. Fast, medium, and slow. If you don't go fast, please just stay in the slow lane. You know who you are. You know who you are. Help us all out here, okay? But this video was just used to help everybody. I hope this helped you. I had a lot of learning curves when moving to Dallas, and I don't want you to make that mistake. So, if you found any value from this video, definitely got to hit that like button, subscribe, give us a comment. It helps us get our video out there, and it really helps the YouTube analytics because we want to be famous at the end of the day. So if you are interested in moving to Dallas, give us a call, shoot us a text. Check out one of these videos to see exactly what it's like living in Dallas. We're going to